And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
We'll take another call from Kansas, from Chris. And folks, Miss Jan will take your calls at 888-227-2546. Hi, Chris. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Oh, how you doing? I appreciate your service you provide.
Thank you, sir.
I have a 97 Buick LeSabre that keeps on stalling out on me, and I have a whole list of stuff that I replaced, and I'm still having the same problem.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
It cranks and runs. You put it in gear and you take it off, and you come out to and you drive it down the road, and it's up to operating temperature or not. You can answer that question. And you pull up to a traffic light, and you stop, and the engine goes dead.
Yes, it does that. Or I can be driving, and the temperature does come up to operating temperature, and it'll drive fine. I stop, and then I come back out, start it back up, and it spits and sputters and dies out.
Well, three things come to my mind. The first thing was a torque converter solenoid, but that would not make it sputter. Now, let me understand. If you stop for a break and then you get it back in the car and crank it up, does it run pretty roughly, even in neutral or park?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that has nothing to do with the transmission then. So I would say there are two major targets here, and of course we're just supposition here. Crank position sensor, well, three actually, as I think. Crank position sensor, ignition module, or fuel pump.
Okay, I've replaced the fuel pump, fuel filter, fuel sending unit, the pump relay, the fuel pressure regulator, crankset position sensor, throttle control sensor, mass airflow sensor, air filter, spark plug wires, and battery.
Well,
I replaced a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah, you have replaced a lot of stuff. Of course, a 97 model engine or model 97 age of a 97 car, its age is getting to you. But the good news is that we can use a scan tool. You say you replaced this, or did the shop replace all these parts?
I replaced it.
Well, you got to seek professional help now.
Okay.
I mean, for your car.
Yeah. My wife will argue with that. But.
I hear you. So I would, as I told the gentleman from New York, I would just simply go, if I were you, to asashop.org, because that's a national, it's a global membership, and it's the Automotive Service Association. And I would call around a couple of shops and ask them if they're familiar with that, and they have the testing devices. And I suspect that you're going to have check engine lights that have been on and off. Is that correct?
Yeah, it comes on sometimes, but not very often.
That's okay. There are memory codes still stored in the vehicle. Even if the light never came on, there are codes that are stored. So what you do not want to do, and of course you cannot disconnect the battery and that will not clear it. So that's a good thing. But what you do not want to do, if you go to one shop and they look at it and they give you the readout of the codes that are currently stored in your computer system, you do not, and then you decide, for some reason you decide to go to another shop, or you don't want to fix it right then, do not clear those codes. Those codes are what is analogous to a medical record. And even though you don't know what they mean, as a technician, when the technician goes in there, there's some readings and some storage codes that could mean something with regard to fuel trim and history of fuel level and fuel pressures and other different parameters. So that's what I'd recommend for you. It's time to go to a shop and have them to test the vehicle, and I suspect you're going to find something as simple as a connector, like even a crank position sensor connector, which would give you the problem, or you could have injector problems. But enough replacing of parts. Seek some professional help, and folks, don't touch that dial.